Maybe the newest macro lens is a very old enlarging lens. Let's go. Hello everyone, Carmine from New York here, photographer in Manhattan since the 1970s. Subscribe, comment below, thumbs up, hit the thanks button, and I need you to comment if you've ever used an enlarging lens for macro photography or regular photography. All right, let's get into it. Today, as you can see, we have a little studio setup for macro photography. I have an unusual assortment of lenses here. These are all enlarging lenses. Some are many decades old. To start with, we have 5 Enlarger lenses, okay, from Russia. They're all 50 millimeter of different sizes, different manufacturers, but mostly all are M39 mount, which is very easy to adapt to M42 and attach to any mount camera. Nikon, Sony, Fuji, in this case Leica L mount on my Leica SL 24 megapixel full frame mirrorless camera. Okay, so I've collected these enlarging lenses going back to the 70s when I had started my darkroom. Okay, and 50 millimeter lenses are 50 millimeter enlarging lenses are used just like in photography. They're used for 35 millimeter film. The one exception is this Polish lens, the NIKON S. This is a 55 millimeter lens. Okay. First, about the quote studio that I'm going to use. All right. First, we have the camera, which is sitting on a scientific lab use elevator type stand. You see that as you turn the knob, it goes up and down. It's a good rest. I like this better than a tripod because it gives me maneuverability, more maneuverability to go in and out, yet it keeps it steady. But each lens will be photographed at f8 because, as you know, f8 is the sharpest aperture for any lens, including enlarger lenses. So okay. I guess I'll be shooting around, I don't know, maybe 1600 ISO, okay, from the Leica SL, f8, of course, manual focus with focus peaking. Okay. Now for lighting, that's the best part. I have been using these are little magnetic lights. I'm going to tell you what they're used for. They're used for machine shops, what you would do, or sewing machines actually. This magnet would stick to the machine, whether it's a sewing machine or a lathe, or I just use them on a piece of wood. Okay. I just have a piece of red cloth as a background, so the background is not disturbing. Okay, so that's the lighting, the background. I use these little clips. These are little alligator clips on a block of wood to hold the specimen that you're going to photograph. All right, so the prices of these lenses are remarkably low. These very old ones, these very old enlarging lenses from Russia, all right, some of them were only $7. It's going back, but they were like $7. The one from Poland, the PZO enlarging lens, that was a little more. That was like 25. Okay. But generally, we're talking between $7 to $25 to $30 for an old enlarging lens. Now, surprisingly, they are all coated lenses. They all have pretty nice coatings on them. Use these lenses that I've been collecting since the 70s to give you a nice overall video that enlarging lenses, if you have an enlarger and you don't use the lens anymore, give it a second life as a macro lens. Or if you just want to try something new, you can just pick one up, like I said, between $7 and $30 on eBay. The older the better, okay? And give it a try, and you're going to see right now the outcome, how nice these macro photographs look. Now, a thing about enlarging lenses, you cannot focus an enlarging lens. It does not have any focus mechanism, because the way an enlarging lens works is it's an enlarger, right? It's attached to bellows, right? This is the lens. Then you would have bellows that adjust. And then above the bellows is a holder for your negative. And then above that, if it's a condenser enlarger, right? You have a big chunk of glass above that, and then above that is the light bulb. So the bulb shines through the big piece of glass, the condenser. It shines through the negative, and you adjust focus onto your paper, your enlarging paper, with the bellows going up and down, usually with a grain enlarging focus aid. What it is, it looks like a microscope that you would put on top of your paper, a scrap piece of paper, and you would adjust the bellows up and down, and you would actually focus on the grain of the negative. Okay, so enlarging lenses do not have focusing rings. You focus, in this case, either by moving the camera in and out towards your subject, or in this case, I spent a little bit of money and got a adapter. This is an M42 to Leica L helicoid adapter. Okay, and as you see, as you focus it, the helicoid brings the lens in and out. All right. So the majority of these are M39 mount, which means that you have to get a little adapter. It's round. It's just a ring. It costs about $1, and you would just screw it onto here, the back of your enlarging lens, making it an M39 to an M42. Once you make this lens an M42, that's when you can get adapters to go from M42 to Nikon, Sony, Fuji, Canon, anything. In this case, it goes from M42 to Leica L. Okay, and these adapters are not expensive either. They're all under $25 for any camera mount. Remember, they're dumb adapters. There's no electronics, because there's no electronics needed. Their enlarging lenses don't have electronics. The other thing that enlarging lenses have is they have apertures, right? They have aperture rings, okay? Right, they're click, they usually click. And one thing, okay, so you'll see a picture of the lens, and then you'll see how it performs. You'll see it in actual macro photograph, and there'll be JPEGs. Let's look at the 7 lenses. First, a picture of the lens, and then following right after that will be how good it takes a macro photograph.